because it's a moment when you actually disconnect with money, that money starts to really come flowing in.
Just flows in. Yeah.
Right? Like me and Maddie always talk about this, like, yeah, we make great money right now, but if tomorrow we were flat broke, we'd be fine. All right. How's it going, everybody? Zander Fryer, bestselling author, CEO, and founder of High Impact Coaching, here with the amazing Brooke Ritchie. Brooke, I'm super excited to chat with you. Welcome to the show, Brooke.
I'm so thrilled. I'm over the moon to be here.
A blast.
Yeah.
So Brooke is a money mindset coach for women entrepreneurs. You're an ex-therapist, ex-yoga instructor, dance instructor. So you've got an amazing story, an amazing path that we're going to talk about a little bit. And I think your journey holds a lot of growth lessons in it that I definitely want to dig into for everybody. But right now we want to start to dig into where you are right now. Now, you and I were just talking about how you just had your first 100K in 2 months this year.
I did.
As a coach. So, run rate of 50K a month. So let's just dig into that a little bit. How have the last 2 months felt for you? What's that like?
It's felt like a dream. It's felt like an absolute dream. It's just been getting on sales calls and hearing yes and hearing yes and hearing yes and like not really running up against the resistance that I was getting before.
Yeah.
In my coaching business. Mm-hmm.
That sounds great. I think everybody would love all yeses and no nos.
Yeah.
So the last couple of months you've been really running on all cylinders. What are you doing right now in your business that's really driving that?
Well, I do mindset work every single day. I call it
This
mindset.
is what you teach, obviously.
It's what I teach. Yeah. And I have to keep up with it. It's like going to the gym. If you don't use it, you lose it. Right. Yeah. And so doing the mindset work before sales calls, and really getting hype, getting my energy up, and then taking the perfect consultation has just been everything, marrying the mindset work with perfect consultation.
I think that's, let's dig into that a little bit before we get back into your story, because I think, I think a lot of people think, oh, once I have the systems, right? Once I have the framework, I'll be good to go. Right. Or they think it's all mindset, right? I got to just keep working on my mindset. I got to keep working on my mindset. But what you just said is it's both. It's the combination. Can you dig into that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. What would you like to know?
What is your, was there a point where you had one and not the other, or?
Well, I didn't have the perfect consultation in the past, and I had the mindset work. So I was doing my best, being in service. I had clients, I had people who signed up with me, but not like the system that you gave me to take me through. So I would say I had more of the mindset work before meeting you and rolling with you. And then after that, marrying them together really.
So what do you think is more important?
More important?
Yeah. The mindset or the strategy?
It's, I can't.
Is that a mean question?
You put me in a bind. I don't know. They're both equally important.
Yeah.
I haven't tried doing the perfect.
Are you trying to tell me that I just got the mindset expert to admit that the strategies and tactics are just as important as the mindset work?
You absolutely did. You got me, Zander.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's really important for people to understand, is that you can't, it's like, I always think of you can't get like a stool to stand up with just one leg, right? You normally need 2 or 3 or 4 legs for it to actually stand up and be consistent. You need the mindset work. You need the strategies. You need the tools. You need it all to be combined together for it to actually stand on its own.
Absolutely.
So you're doing well.
Yeah.
I can tell from the grin on your face that
I feel amazing.
It feels good. And we'll come back to where you're at and where you're going. But I would love to kind of go back to the beginning. Tell us about how you got started in your business, why you got started in your business, and this path from therapist to where you are now.
Yeah, I've been on a journey. Okay. I guess I'll go back to graduate school. I studied somatic psychotherapy, And so it's a
Yeah.
body-based awareness to
That's
psychotherapy to
amazing.
the
Yeah.
mind. Yeah. And so throughout my career, I've used the body quite a bit in healing the mind, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And so from becoming a therapist, I almost got my hours. I didn't quite finish, but I went through a divorce and left therapy altogether.
Yeah.
And then started teaching yoga and dance and started getting
When was
really,
that? That was
that was 2014 when I left.
2014.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
it was like there was a lot going, like you changed a lot in your life. Not only did you go through a divorce, but you also quit your career and something that you've been working towards for years.
absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What
And then I
what
got,
caused that? What
mhm.
caused that switch? I have to ask because I think a lot of people, the way that I always explain it, right? A lot of people that get into coaching, they get into coaching because of something like that, right? So some
Mhm.
massive transformation or shift that goes on in their life it's like an awakening or an opening or something. Like what caused that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It was going to graduate school and becoming a
Yeah.
therapist. Yeah, resolving all of the baggage, not all of the baggage, but a lot of the baggage.
Opening
Letting
yourself
go
up to the baggage just to
completely. Yeah,
begin with. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, getting into the personal growth space, and then taking it to the body, taking it to massage therapy, body work techniques,
Yeah.
dance, emotional and feminine movement,
Yeah.
and yoga and mindfulness. And
Yeah.
so kind of coaching was the thing, like, and then I could never figure out the financial piece. No
Yeah.
matter how much money I made, I could never feel abundant. I could never like push past a certain income level.
Yeah.
And so I was working as a VA, and as a dance teacher and
Yeah.
for a spiritual teacher.
Yeah.
And I was crying one night, and I was like, oh my God, I'll never have money. This is just like the end of my life.
Yeah.
So I looked up a financial coach, and got her on the phone, and she started coaching me, and she looked at my background, and she's like, hey, Brooke, what are you doing? You could be a coach. And
Yeah.
so she was really the impetus, I started really investing in myself and investing in coaching.
Yeah.
And that's where everything took off. Like that initial investment was, $10,000. I I had to borrow money to even make the first payment. I was so
Yeah.
scared, didn't know what the hell I was getting into. And, it paid off exponentially. And it's just, I'll never not invest in myself.
I think that's something that I hear. It's so funny because you hear two different types of coaches all the time, right? There's the coaches that they step out of their comfort zone and they invest in themselves, just like they expect their clients to do, right? And then you have the coaches that are scared to invest in themselves, but they expect their clients to do,
Mhm.
right? And I
Yeah,
think one of the things that you've done so well is, and just like you mentioned with the mindset work, is you have to walk the walk first.
absolutely. 100%.
Like you have to
I had to be scared.
you had to be
I know what
scared.
it's like.
You had to go through that feeling of, oh my God, I just put myself in 10 grand worth of debt to change my life.
That's
But
right.
then you look back on it now, like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was, and you're like, that was crucial. That was pivotal. That was a moment in my life where I chose to be abundant rather than to live in scarcity.
100%. 100%. And then I learned how to reframe the debt. I learned how to reframe all the
Yeah.
money stuff, and, doing Byron Katie's work, doing forgiveness work. I worked with Alyssa Nobriga, who was my coach before I met you. And that really helped. That really helped with the money mindset
Yeah.
stuff. And
How much, this will be an interesting question because you've now gone down this path for several years. How much have you mentioned investing in yourself? How much have you invested in your own growth
mm,
to get to this point?
including graduate school,
Yeah.
I'd say around $250,000.
Yeah. But I think that's really important for people to
I can't
understand,
believe I just said that. Yeah.
right? It's like,
Yeah.
I look at your results right now, right? And over the last 2 months, on the surface, it looks like you've just gone, foom,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But you look back at what you've had to do to get to this point, and it's a lot of hard work, a lot of deep emotional stuff,
Big
and
time.
a lot of investment,
Mhm.
right? Like a never ending flow of working on yourself.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I really value that growth. You know, you and I talked about that last week, valuing growth and personal development
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
So keep me walking
My
through
mind
that.
is blown right now. I've never said $250,000 out loud
It's
before.
crazy, right? I remember the
Like,
first time that I told people, like, because somebody asked me, like, Zander, how much have you invested in like coaching over the last couple of years? And I actually had to add it up.
mm-hmm.
And it's the same for me. So for coaching, I've spent just coaching specifically, coaching, masterminds, things like that. I've spent over 200, close to $250,000 just in the last 2 years alone.
Yeah.
And I
That's
like, I
awesome.
sat there, I was like, I could have put a down payment on a house for that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What
But I'm like, I wouldn't. This was much better. This is an investment that will carry me much further than the down payment on the house.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So, all right, we keep you moving forward. You're doing yoga instructing, dance, and VA. You have a mentor that is just that sees your potential more than you see in yourself.
Absolutely.
They're like, Brooke, you got to make the switch. You got to go for it.
Yep.
So what happens then?
So then she was giving me little tips here and there. I started studying coaching. I did a certification course in deep transformational coaching. You know, I'll say I went through a mindset blocks of I'm not enough. There's no way anyone will
No,
believe me. People don't.
no,
Yeah.
never.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah. And it was like, I'll never know enough. I'll never be able to help people. So just the stories that come up around taking a quantum leap like that. And then I invested in that mastermind, and that's where everything started to shift.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
That was last January. It's about a
Yeah.
year and a couple months.
Beautiful. So what were some of the big shifts that happened for you?
Well, I launched a coaching business.
Yeah.
First of all, I quit
You
my
actually
job.
went for it.
I went all in. Yeah. I quit my job. I went all in. I was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm a coach now. And I really had to change my identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, it was a lot of trust, a lot of questioning the mind,
Yeah.
a lot of forgiveness work for myself, resolving emotional baggage. I took an NLP course. Yeah.
Talk to me about that decision. Because I think that is also, and I always explain it. There's a moment for every coach, or at least I should say there's a moment for every successful coach
Mm-hmm.
where you make the decision to be 100% in.
Yeah.
Right. And the way that I explain it to people, you don't necessarily have to quit your job, but mentally
You do.
have to quit your job.
I have a story for you. Yeah. So I was
Talk to
teaching
me.
dance. I was holding on to my dance job.
Yeah.
And around August, I was like, okay, I need to be all in, and I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to quit this job. And I didn't want to do it anymore. I was really I was getting clients and things were picking up. And so I let go. And literally like a week later, I made $7,000. Like it was just instantaneous when I actually took that leap of faith.
Yeah. And it's like when we're talking about like energetically, it's like when you move this out of your space, there's room for more.
Yeah. Just a lot of room. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We always expect like, oh, like I want to get enough in here so that I can move this out. Well, it's like you can't put more in your space if there's shit in the way.
That's right.
It
And
doesn't
so
work.
much of my energy and mental awareness and focus was going on that job. And once I pivoted toward my business, it just blew up. And that's when I had my first, I think I had $16,000 in sales the next month. And then I decided I was going to be a money mindset coach because I went all in on the money mindset work. Like I was leveraging like the theta brainwave state at night, hypnosis in the night and morning. And then just doing mirror work, doing all of the resolving old baggage and things like that. And then focusing on money. And that's when I created a course. I partnered with with another coach. I did a collaboration, and it just launched me to new territory.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So talking about money mindset, since you are the expert, I got to ask, what do you see as being the biggest money mindset blocks that other entrepreneurs out there actually have that are really holding them back?
Great question. Believing that they need money.
Yeah.
There's a lot, especially like I work with women, so I don't know about the man space yet, but what I do know is that imposter syndrome is a big part of it, like not feeling like they are enough or confident enough, or you know, we're born with these into these families and caregivers that have money mindset patterns, and so we're always, if you don't upgrade your mindset to the present moment, you're going to be living off your past forever into infinity. So working with that kind of stuff, and then the belief I need money, like really examining that belief switched everything for me. Is it true? Like, is it true? Do I really need money? No, I need water. I need food.
When you start, and this is something that I explained to one of my mentors, because it's a moment when you actually disconnect with money, that money starts to really come flowing in.
Just flows in.
Yeah. Right? Like me and Maddie always talk about this, like, yeah, we make great money right now, but if tomorrow we were flat broke, we'd be fine.
Yeah, still be alive.
We'd still be alive.
You could choose happiness.
We'd be happy. We'd have our health. We'd have great relationships. We'd have an amazing, group of people that we network with. Like, we would be phenomenal.
Yeah. Right? It's really about taking money off the pedestal, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I love it. Mm-hmm. So over the last 2 to 3 months, mm-hmm. You've gone from like the 7 and 10 and 16K range to obviously a lot higher.
Yes.
What
was after I met you.
Yeah, that happens. What have been the biggest switches for you to kind of catapult you from like that range into kind of that next level as you keep moving forward?
Well, getting clear about my offer, first of all, was really powerful. And then getting the systems and strategies that you put in place, focusing on one thing, on one program, instead of all of the different levels to play at, and like just having that one thing, which is my money mindset course. And
which is amazing, because so many people think like, okay, for me to get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, I have to have, and it's funny because it's a money mindset issue. I'm leaving money on the table if I'm not getting to this person and this person. But it's like, when you push all this other stuff out of the way and you just focus on this one thing, this thing takes off, because all your energy goes behind that one thing. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
What do you?
Yeah, it's actually made me a lot less crazy. I think when I met you, I was a nutcase. I was like, had no time.
I wasn't gonna say it.
My ears.
I wasn't gonna say it, bro. I love you. I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad somebody did.
Yeah. And so just honing in on that high ticket client.
Yeah.
Instead of a million different, a million clients at a really low price.
Yeah, exactly. I think like you mentioned, you may have been making, 10, 16K a month, but you were working your ass off to do it.
It was.
Right.
Yeah.
You were working hard. I remember when you started working with us, you're like, Zander, I don't have time for this. Mm-hmm. I was like, let's get 15 minutes on the phone. You're like, Zander, I don't have time for a 15-minute call. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where's all your time going?
Hamster. I don't know.
For me to fix your business.
Right.
Oh, that's too funny. So obviously focusing in on one thing, focusing on, like that high ticket space. Is there any other pieces of advice that you would give to the coaches out there that can really help them take off and get moving quicker?
Well, invest in yourself, first of all.
Yeah.
Especially if you're asking your clients to enroll with you at a high ticket, like you've got to walk the talk. I'm so bad at those. And doing the mindset work, really important. And then getting the strategy and systems in place, focusing on the one thing. I mean, that's just been so key.
Yeah. It's so crazy because you make it sound so simple, right?
Yeah.
But it actually, it's
simple. And it is.
It's not easy, but it's simple, right? Yeah. It's like, invest in yourself so that you know what it feels like, right? Get both the mindset work and the strategy.
Yep.
And then focus on one thing.
Yep.
It's like, if you do those 4 things, there's no way that you can fail.
Yeah, really. It's true.
That's awesome.
The masculine and the feminine have the baby, right? Like mindset work and
I love
and
it.
the strategy. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful.
I love it.
Beautiful thing.
So moving forward, what's your big goal for you, Brooke? I know you and I have talked about this, but like, I want the world to hear where you're going, what you're trying to do. Talk to me. What are your goals for 2020?
My goal is to, well, we just talked about this together, to let go of being the CEO of my business, and just showing up and being in personal growth, being in service, making a shit ton more money.
Yeah. Basically designing, like, cause you and I talked about it, like you work 3 weeks a month.
I do.
Right. So I want everybody to hear that.
Life.
I want everybody to hear this right now. Right. You work 3 weeks a month. Right. And you're designing a life right now where you can scale to 7 figures and beyond, where you're not doing anything except for what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Creating programs, coaching people, and having time off to just be you.
That's right.
Right. Because I think a lot of people think that that's not possible. Right. But again, it all comes back to, just like you mentioned, whatever preconceived beliefs you've created around what you can and can't do, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was really a mindset issue and strategy issue.
Yeah.
So once I got those 2 things in place, it's just awesome.
Perfect.
The dream,
I like it.
Dream life. Yeah. I never and I just want to say, like, if I could do it, you can do it too. Like, you know, I grew up in a trailer park.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I never thought I could get beyond what I was doing, $20 an hour jobs. Like,
yeah.
And here I am, you know, making $100,000 in 2 months. It's just bananas.
Yeah. I love that. So anybody out there who's listening that doesn't think it's possible for them, I think just remember Brooke's 4 steps. Invest in yourself, get the strategy, get the mindset work, focus on one thing. I got a couple last quick questions for you, and then we'll let you go, Brooke. I know you've got things to do, like not work.
Like EFT.
Yeah. So real quick, what's your favorite book that you've read recently that could be really helpful for people?
Oh, there's a book called Money Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
It's I like to do tapping with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it's by, but it's affirmations for money. Really love it.
Awesome. Money Blessings. So everybody check out Money Blessings if you've got money issues. Number 2, what's one piece of advice you would give to yourself when you were first starting as a business owner and entrepreneur?
Question your beliefs. Question everything. Question what the mind is saying.
I love that.
Because you get to choose. Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
I think that's huge. Kind of just to piggyback on that, and I want to see if you've noticed this. The person you are now, making $50K a month, like you can look back at the person when you were first starting and you're like, I have a totally different set of beliefs, a totally different set of viewpoints on what is up, what is down, what is right, what is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that something you've noticed?
100%. Yeah. The thermostat has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a big problem for a lot of people is when they're at a lower level, they cling on to their ego and their beliefs, just like you mentioned, rather than just questioning, do I have to believe this? Mm-hmm. Does this have to be me? Because the person that you become when you get to 50K a month, 100K a month, 200K a month, I look back at when I first started, I'm a totally different person.
Me too. Yeah. And it's about getting uncomfortable too, being out of your comfort zone. Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy at all.
I love it.
But it really does pay off.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. All right, last question for you. Who's your favorite HIC member?
Leslie Thornton. She's my accountability buddy. Shout out to Leslie. She's an amazing.
What about team members? How about that?
Oh, sorry. Team members.
We can take Leslie.
How can I choose?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obsessed with Maddie's RIM stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm a mindset coach.
No offense to all our other team members.
No, not at all.
So.
But she's really, it's crazy how much work I've done. And then she's been able to get me beyond to a next place.
Absolutely. And as you and I both know, like for us to continue to go to those next levels, the digging never stops.
Never.
Right.
Never. Yeah. So it's actually gets, you frame it as it's fun. Like I get to do this now.
I get to do this.
I get to be uncomfortable and cry.
I get to find these things now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
it. That's amazing.
it's
Awesome. This has been absolutely amazing, Brooke.
been
Thank you for
wonderful.
sharing this.
Thank you.
Where can everybody learn more about you and everything that you're doing?
Well, call me. No. I have a website, but it's not amazing. But it's, my business is called Bright Beauty Coaching. I guess just find me on Facebook.
Yeah. So you can find
Yeah,
Brooke Ritchie on
Brooke
Facebook.
Ritchie. Yeah.
Reach out to her. She's awesome. She's
Thank
super nice,
you.
warm and welcoming. So reach out to Brooke if you guys have any questions. Brooke, thanks again for joining us. I know this is
Absolutely.
super helpful. If you guys have any questions for Brooke, go ahead and comment them in the comments below. For everybody that joined us over podcast land, if you wanna catch these live, go ahead and go to zanderfryer.com/FB group to catch these live. And if you're catching this live, if you guys want our help to help take you from just starting off to let's shoot for 50K a month, just like Brooke, while working 3 weeks a month, go ahead and reach out to us. Check out our programs. Go to zanderfryer.com/programs. You can check out a couple of the different programs we offer, and feel free to book a free chat with us so we can dig into where you're at and figure out exactly what you need to be focusing on your business to take it to that next level. Thanks again, Brooke.
Yeah, I take the jump, dive in, do it.
Yeah.
Like
we'll probably get you
it.
back on here to talk deep. This has been great.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thanks so much, Zander. Bye.
Awesome.